good, Reverend Dr. Paxton J. Price, founder of Paxton's Foundation and Church of Redemption. He is an entrepreneur, a TV and radio host, better known as The Rev. This show is designed just for you, the listener, to educate, entertain, and equip you. Now sit back, buckle up, and now let's roll with The Rev.
America's your main man, The Rev, Faith in Sports. You know what we do every episode. We bring you the word of God, apply the word of sports to it. And today, Ryan, we got Coach Hahn with us from Wilmington University, the women's coach. She is fantastic. I'm going to tell you something special about her. She's from Northside. That's the same place the Rev is from, Northside of Wilmington. Coach Hahn, welcome. We appreciate you coming on the show, and let's get right into it. Let's talk first about your new position as a Wilmington University women's basketball coach. What do you expect to happen?
We're going to change this entire program.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. More commitment, more work ethic. You know, these girls want it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they're ready for it. So the great thing is I just started. We got 6 months till the season even starts.
Whoa.
I'm working with them half a year till we can really prove it in a game setting, which is nice.
Yes.
I'm very excited. Represent my city.
Yes.
So come out.
That's right. Come out, watch Wilmington University. Their women's basketball program is on its way up, because I'm telling you something about Coach Hahn. She is special. She is one of Delaware's all-time best women basketball players. And you told the Rev, this is what you told the Rev. You told the Rev you won 2 state championships.
Yes, I did.
Whoa, come on now. Talk about it. Talk about it.
And I said I should have won all 5.
I'll
say what I said.
That's what you said.
Cameras off, cameras on.
Me and Ryan was like, did she just say she should have won all 5?
Yeah. All 5. But it doesn't happen like that, you know.
Yeah.
Still got to have high ceiling goals, as always. But I started freshman year with my state championship, and then senior year I left with one. So had to finish the job.
That's right.
Great memories with Ursuline and John Noonan. Shout out my head coach.
That's right. Ursula.
So we put some history
Ursula
in
Academy.
Delaware. Yes.
The great Val Whiting went there. Yeah, I told you I played with Val Whiting when I was young. She was one of the tougher players. Didn't matter if you was man or woman. She was one of the tougher players out there, and she went on to have a great career. You said that you and her had communications.
She ended up giving me her Stanford championship ring as I was on my way to college, kind of as a special charm. Let me keep it for 4 years. I ended up returning it to her, but it's just one of those things, right? In the leadership role and mentorship role that she was, she gave that to me as well.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, and she's always been that type of person, on and off the basketball court. She was a leader from the beginning as a young person. She was never a person that talked a whole lot, but when she talked, you wanted to listen because she had something to say. So I know what type of mentor she would be. Tell us a little bit about what you expect to teach these young players that you're about to coach.
It's the overall student athlete experience. From beginning to end, right? Obviously, they're there to get an education, you know, become leaders, become strong, independent women. And how do you do that both on and off the court? It's a lifestyle, and that's what I kind of came in with. You know, we got to walk basketball, talk basketball. And because we do that, we learn the greater, bigger lessons that come from, you know, commitment, hard work, pushing through the struggles.
Yes.
It's not going to be an easy ride, especially coming from the bottom. I mean, they've been last in conference. We got a lot of work to do. We need to bring more youth into our gym, more community involvement, you know, total turnaround. So, like I said, we start next week.
Yes.
Yep.
You're going to start off next week. You're going to try to build this from the ground up. The transformation that's going to take place is going to hinge on the direction you're going to take them. Integrity, character, building. This is what sports brings to us. One of the things I recognized when I was talking to you before this show was that you have a strong foundation with the family life that is so important. You were saying that your mother and your father, and you grew up on the north side, which is a wonderful place. They produce a Rev, so it must be a wonderful place. You saying that the foundation of your family, you was the only child in the house, but your mother and father was always there.
Yes. I mean, I grew up with a lot of discipline in my house.
Yes.
And that was demanded, especially respect. from my father, and I think that's really crucial. So, sometimes I also work with student athletes who didn't come from that, will never have that, and they can even be greater than me. Resources are a major impact, but I teach them how to, go out and get your own resources, become resourceful, right? Somebody wants to invest in you. You are contagious. You are a sponge. There's a reason why people may want to help you, and be open to that. Sometimes it's a little hard and challenging in the beginning. They don't think it's even possible. And, once they see a light kind of at the end of the tunnel, it gets even brighter.
Yes.
My dad instilled in me from day one, we're going outside and shooting. We're not taking really a day off, even if we're going through injuries. I had surgery. I'm still sitting in a chair outside working on my body weight, doing, shooting up here, old school days.
Yes.
I mean, you have to be open and willing to continue to get educated in basketball. That journey never stops.
That's so important. That's so important to have your family support you and help you go to the next level in life. Because you went to Villanova University, which is a major university, and that education there is worth a whole lot. And I think a lot of people fail to realize that putting in the discipline of playing sports and the discipline in the classroom can take you far in life, take you very far in life. You can't just play basketball or any sport. You have to also put the time in the classroom.
Exactly. It's discipline all around. You got to show up with the same face, the same name, carry a brand, discipline when, especially at the highest levels, them coaches is trying to take it from you. They're testing you 24/7.
Yes.
So really it's the challenge of being consistent, showing up definitely when your teammates need you. When you go into a program, you have to learn how to just listen and soak it all in. They don't even care where you come from, what you're bringing to the table. It's like, you're going to do it our way, and that's it. That's the only way.
Yes. Following directions is so important, not just in sports, but in the classroom, not just the classroom, but when you get into corporate America, you have to be able to follow directions. You have to be able to follow the rules. It's a thing that I think we sometimes don't give young people the right development that they need to be successful in life. But I know for a fact, with you coaching these young ladies, that they're going to get the right foundation that they need to build a better life for themselves. I would encourage a lot of parents to look into this university and this opportunity they would have to put their child in a great place with a great coach that has a great foundation in life. I mean, she said this is what Coach Hahn said to us. I should have won all 5 state championships. Ryan, when somebody says that to the Rev, the Rev was like, you better take notice.
A ring for every finger. I needed it. Eighth grade, I tore my ACL on the Elite Eight at the Bob. Couldn't play the next game. But all 5 years of mine, we made it to the Final Four. We were 10th in the country my senior year.
Woo!
Yeah.
In the country?
In the country.
In the nation.
What was your memorable game that you remember?
In high school?
Yeah.
8th grade year, we going down to D.C. It's now called She's Got Game Classic, but it actually used to be called the Tina Thompson Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Man, okay.
I remember Tina Thompson.
About Whiting days. Yeah. 8 teams in D.C., Bishop McNamara High School.
Yes.
We ended up playing them. We were down 11-0. I didn't start as an 8th grade. That was the rule.
Okay.
8th graders can't start. So he's looking down the bench. Everybody's head turns. I don't want to go in. I'm nervous. I'm like, I'm ready.
Right.
Put me in 11-11. I ended up MVP of that game. And so why that was one of my most memorable was because my trainer, Keith Veeney, presented the MVP award. And that started my next level, very long journey to this day with obviously a great player development coach. But like I said, the overall life of a student athlete, right? I'm going down to D.C. to train with him. I end up playing team takeover AAU. He set me up in great places. He's given me books to read, mentorship from all levels. God, that's what really carries the journey from one level to the next. And I'm super blessed. It's my second dad.
Praise God. The God being the foundation of our life. The Bible teaches us, seek you first the kingdom of God, and everything else will be added to you. Ryan, when I listen to Coach Hahn, I get excited because I know the future is bright.
Yeah, you know, I've been off camera and on camera. I've been listening to her, and you could just tell that they're gonna be going in a real good direction.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's a real foundation set, and you know, the morals and the values and the goals that she has. It's she's gonna lay a really good foundation for the school.
I believe so too. And the journey always starts one step at a time. I know we all have goals that we set. We all have a vision where we want to go to, but how many people could put the discipline to put one step behind the other? Because there's no fantasy world, there's no magic potion. Things don't get turned around the next day. You have to put the time in, you have to put the work in, and it's going to be one step at a time. That's everything in life. That's anything you do in life. It's got to be one step at a time. And when you put those steps together, then the journey begins, and the journey will take you far. And Coach Hahn, I mean, you told me the state championships in the state of Delaware. You told me about going to Villanova. Tell me, what was it like to be at Villanova at that time when women basketball is really taking off?
Yeah, it was great. 2015, I graduated high school, and a little bit of history for you. I'm sure you remember, but Dante DiVincenzo was my class.
Oh, yes.
So both of us, the 2 player of the years, going off to Nova.
Yeah.
You know, I used to talk to Jay Wright a lot. How can I get Dante to come here?
Right.
You know, because I committed October of my junior year.
Okay.
Really early recruit. Getting to Nova, I mean, it's interesting because you had the national champions right next door. I don't even think they knew they were going to be the national championships. So that's a great class coming in. Jalen Brunson, you know, a lot of talent.
That's Ryan boy.
Yeah, that's my bad.
So, and it's great to be able to continue to watch them and be an example for, you know, everything we have here in Delaware still. I use their examples a lot, but freshman year, again, came off the bench. I ended up being 6th woman of the year, which was nice. Yeah. You know, at the time, though, I got that Kobe mentality, man.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want that award, but come on.
I know.
But
That's
you got to
right.
take what you get. And,
That's right.
next 3 years, started point guard. My senior year, I ended up, you know, getting some personal records, 3-point record for Villanova and the 3-point record for the Big East.
Now, hold on, Coach Hahn. Are you telling me that you have the 3-point record for the University of Villanova?
Yes, in the women's basketball. There's a
Ooh.
male that's above me, but
you the women's
yes.
leader.
Yep, 315 threes.
Ooh.
How many?
315.
315 threes?
But you got to put this in perspective because Curry got the record in the NBA for 400. You know how close she was?
She very close.
For that.
You know, it's funny. If I would have known I could chase something like that,
See,
you know,
that's
you
what I'm
going into
saying.
college.
As she was
You
talking,
ain't know.
But as she
No.
was talking and you were saying, you know, one step at a time.
Yes.
You know, I was sitting there saying to myself, Coach Hines wants that championship this year.
She wants that championship
Yeah.
this very first year.
Yeah, she
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
Yeah, she don't want. Yeah, I
She-
mean,
she-
it's going to
yeah,
take time.
it's
You
gonna
gotta,
take time.
You got to build it, but the mentality is,
Yes.
we going all the way.
We going all the way. We'll go as
Yeah.
far as we can.
Yeah.
And I remember playing, and I remember the objective to win every game was there. But I also understood that it took time to develop. It took time to understand the game. It took time to understand what to do in situations. And when I look back on it, I always wish that I wouldn't rush the process. I was trying to rush the process to get to the end goal. But when I look back on it, the process was just as fun, just as important as the end goal was. And, you know, a lot of times as we're going through things, we kind of forget to take the time to appreciate what we actually are doing and what we are actually going through. So I really appreciate you, Coach Hahn, for taking the time to coach young people, to invest in these young people, to invest in our future, because, of course, young people are our future. And I hope that you really take the time to appreciate the whole process, that in 30 years from now, that you remember that each step was part of the journey and how important it was.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of differences, you know. Every student athlete is going to experience their journey different. There's similarities, yes, but you know, when you're good, you might deal with more off-court problems. And when you're not so good, you're dealing with the on-court problems. And those two type players actually have to blend together.
Yes.
So from a coach's perspective, you got to be able to handle all of those differences, they could really come to the top and meet at the same place. It's interesting. And so, you know, I can't tell you how many times adults, parents, other coaches, man, quit on that kid. You know what he said under his breath? His attitude, body language. You got to understand and have some heart in leadership.
Yes.
President Harmon from the University of Wilmington actually wrote a book called The Heart in Leadership. And we connected, you know, very much with that because, you know, you can't take the heart away. You need heart. You got to give that heart for other people to carry it and understand. You know, giving a helping hand is necessary. It's got to be there. You can't do it on your own. So I ain't quitting on nobody.
That's right. That's right. We never quit. We never give up. We always are trying to move forward. And in the challenge of dealing with people, especially in sports, but in life as well, is that sometimes we got to put ourselves in their position. Sometimes you have to have the vision to understand that people go through different things. It's not going to be easy for people. It's never easy in life. Life is not meant to be easy. It is a challenge that we are able to overcome, but we must overcome it. When you're talking about sports and you're talking about a team sport, then you have to deal with every personality, every situation, everything people go through. You're going to have players like when I was a player, I remember that one of my biggest challenges was to keep focus on what I had to do in the classroom. Because, you know, it was a whole bunch of parties going on. It was a whole bunch of things going on around.
Right.
It was a whole bunch of temptations, if you know what I mean. It was a whole bunch of temptations. And just to stay focused. And I needed help staying focused. I needed a coach like, hey, stay focused now. Remember what you have to do. You got to go to these classes. You got to perform well in the classes as well on the court.
Right. That's your overall image.
Yes.
At the time, social media was kind of arising, 2013, 14. And I took over that.
Yes.
I'm like, I could be a beautiful basketball player, especially in women's basketball. You know, there were some stereotypes behind it, but, you know, I could do this and better and dribble a ball a lot better.
Yes.
So what's up now? Where's my competition?
That's right. That's right. Where's my competition? That's right. I like it. America, we're going to take a break. We're going to come right back with Coach Hahn. Me and Ron going to talk about this March Madness thing that is maddening, and we're going to find out what is going to happen. America, we'll be right back. America, let's study the Word of God, shall we? Let's go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26 and verse 27. You know, as we prepare for March Madness, a lot of things are going to happen. Teams who have their hopes on winning a national championship game are going to lose. They're going to have disappointment. There are going to be times in the game where people are going to get angry, upset, mad. Well, the Bible gives us instructions on what to do when we get mad. The Bible never says don't get mad, just what to do when you do get mad, when you do get disappointed, when you do get let down. What should you do? Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26 and 27 says, be angry and sin not. Notice, you can be angry, but sin not. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Don't give place to the devil. You know, when you go through that hard time in life, when you go through the difficulties, don't give place to the devil. Don't sin. You can be mad, you can be upset, you can be disappointed. In life, this is going to happen. But don't let the devil get a place in your heart. Don't let the devil get a place in your life. The key is not if you win or lose, but how you handle winning and losing. How do you handle defeat? You should handle defeat the same way you handle victory, with grace. What should you do when you get angry? Turn to God. Always turn to God. Wow. Remember the story about David? Remember when David and his army, they got a surprise. The enemy had came into the camp and stole all the people. And David's men were angry with him. They were so angry with him, they were going to stone him. What did David do in that disappointment, in that defeat? He turned to God. The Bible says he turned to God and prayed. Always turn to God in victory and defeat. How you handle victory is how you handle defeat, with grace. Be mad, be angry, and sin not. It's your main man, the Red, Faith in Sports. America, we're back, and we always want to make sure that we put God first, how important God is in our life. And Ryan, I want to talk about what's going on in March Madness. I know Coach Hahn has something to say about this. So let's start with the women's side. Ladies first. Ladies first. Ladies first. Let's start with women's side of March Madness, the tournament. You had the top seeds, UConn, South Carolina. Cause Dawn from Philadelphia, you went to Villanova. What you think about Dawn, her job she's doing down there at South Carolina? Coach Hahn?
I love Dawn. I mean, she played at UVA. You know, I got a little bit of Virginia in my family. So,
oh, do you?
You know, I was looking at UVA.
Yeah.
I was able to meet Dawn in 2019 at a conference. So, you know, talked to her. I think everything she's doing is great. She's doing it her way, a different way.
Yes.
She's allowing these players to not only be successful on the court, but be confident in building their own brand.
Yes.
I think that's great. You have to be a special person to be able to create that and bring that out.
Yes.
I would like to see them win a national championship. I went to the women's Final Four last year in Tampa.
Did you?
I was able to see that. It's usually in the women's bracket, you see the Final Four pretty consistent.
Yes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You don't see too much upset in the women's
No, but you know the top 2, top 3 hard.
Yeah,
yes. I went to the Final Four. The first 2 games, they're winning by 20 plus.
Yeah,
it's over at
Yeah,
halftime. You're like, what's going on?
The consistency of South Carolina, and it's crazy.
UCLA got a very good team this year. I think I actually picking them to win the championship actually. I'm picking UCLA. But what Dawn has done over there at South Carolina is start a program that wasn't the top program when she got there, but she's making it the top program, something like what you're planning on doing. My only thing with Dawn, listen, the Rev love you, but stop looking so mean all the time. Put a smile on your face sometime.
It's when you're on the court, man. It's
no battle, it's war.
Ain't no games, man.
She looking like it's about that life.
She smiled when the game over.
Yeah, when it's over. When she out there coaching, she like, good gracious. Coach Hahn, what kind of coach are you? Or do you smile? Do you look mean? What you doing over there?
Nah, I smile.
Okay.
You know, and I definitely engage with like my bench too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's killer. You gotta commit to all 15 or however many you carrying.
That's right.
I think it comes out definitely as a player. Not all coaches were players.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of her in there.
Yes.
I don't think she wants her players to get comfortable until they really stand in with that trophy.
Yeah.
You know? Yep. It's a long season. Basketball's
a very
long season to keep them focused and ingrained is tough, especially towards the end. I mean, you playing back to back, you're traveling on the road, bus, hotel, the things that you don't really see.
Yes.
It's the commitment.
Yes.
And you winning championships and coming into this program and talking about keeping that focus throughout that long season, like how difficult do you think that's going to be?
It's difficult, but you can get creative with it. And that's why I talk about, okay, what are we going to do off the court? We're going to have our own little book club. Like I said, all my members are going to read that Heart and Leadership book from our president. Yep. We're going to commit 1 act of service each month from volunteer, have the girls choose where we want to go, how we want to do it. Obviously you study a lot of film. You have to be invested in yourself and your team. Resources is key. You got a lot of leaders who are still playing, even the ones that not playing. Listen to their voice, listen to the things they're saying, what they're doing now, even in the game, not being a player no more. You have to live it, breathe it, and it'll never end that way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now tell me, because I know my personal journey, I can't stop playing basketball. Now, what is that like for you? Are you still playing basketball?
No.
No.
I my first 2020 hit, and that's when I started my business. So I've been 6 years in business now, but my first 2-3 years of business, they got the last leg out of me.
They got the leg.
I'm coming on the court like, this is how it's supposed to be done. You see how I do it just like this.
Right.
And then they talking, I can still beat you one-on-one. All right, check up. What's up?
Okay. Okay, coach.
Everything. So I could give a nice 10-15 minutes on the court, show a drill properly. I'll definitely get out there, though. I still feel like I can be out there.
That's right. That's right.
It's more my mind than the physicality.
Yes. You go out there and still show them that you still can drop those threes on them.
Oh yeah, the shot not going nowhere.
Yeah, shot not going anywhere. Yeah, shot not going anywhere. Now you invited to come out because we play every Tuesdays and Thursdays at McCullough. So you welcome to come out and play with us. And you drop a couple threes. You know what I mean?
I might hold a little summer league at our house.
Oh yeah,
get y'all come in.
That'd be nice.
We need some practice players against these girls. That's why I told them I'm bringing in guys.
And Rev still does it.
They're gonna be with you 3 times a week.
Rev still could dunk.
Yeah. Oh, that's great though.
Yeah,
that's great.
Rev still could dunk.
Hopefully you can play for as long as you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play till I'm at least 95, full court, and
better
then half
than LeBron,
court.
huh?
Yeah, I'll play a few more years half court. Yeah, the opportunity. Well, let me say this: the reason why I think basketball is a unique sport is this is the only sport that you actually use everything in your physical body. Like you have to run, you have to jump, you have to stop, you have to cut. This is a sport that when you're doing it, you're exercising. I mean, everything, every part of your body, every muscle of your body, pulling down rebounds, you name it. Basketball is a type of sport that puts a lot on you, and it allows you to, be healthier in life, I believe.
Basketball is a very specialized sport. Yes. Not saying that other sports aren't, but basketball players, we can step onto a field, we can kind of get in the mix over here and get it done. Yeah. Meanwhile, it's very hard to come into our space and be able to move like a basketball player. Yeah. Hand-eye coordination is crazy. Footwork is crazy.
It is.
The way your body just goes from a lateral standpoint to north to south now, and the vertical jumping, everything. Yes. I mean, your mind is managing multiple things at one time as well.
Yes.
And it's constantly changing.
Yes. You have to be able to see everything that's going on, and then at the same time predict what will happen before it happens. When the ball goes up, you have to know, is that ball short? Is that ball long? Is it going to come off? And everything is happening all at once, and you're putting your body, your mind through the trials that it expands your thinking. It expands you in your physical body. And, we really enjoy it in America. I hope you have enjoyed us. I hope you have enjoyed Coach Hahn, the new Wilmington University basketball coach. Ryan, I'm telling you, I believe that they're going somewhere, and they're going somewhere. I think they're going to the top.
To the top. I was getting ready to say, don't, it's all the way to the top.
America is your main man, the Rev. My main man, Ryan. We got Coach Hahn. America, here we go.
At our church, Jesus is Lord. That single belief calls us together as a community and sends us into our world with hope and purpose. At our church, your past will never define your future. There's always redemption, which means there's always a brighter day. At our church, we don't think we're better than any other church out there. We're just doing our best to become our best. At our church, we want you to believe in God, but we also want you to know that God believes in you. We are not against people who don't attend church anywhere. Instead, we pursue them with love, the very same love that's pursuing us. At our church, we're learning to serve God with all our hearts, and we're learning to worship Him with all our lives. And if you're looking for the perfect church, we're not it. At our church, we will